Hi everyone, today I'm going to get some gelatin ready for use. Again, we'll make the mistakes so you don't have to. I'm going to use some leaf gelatin. You can use powdered gelatin. Does a very similar thing in terms of being used to create jellies and panna cotta, things like that. The protein from this actually comes from collagen in animals. So if you're looking for vegetarian alternatives, you could go for like agar-agar or carrageenan. It does a very similar thing. Um, so if you look at leaf gelatin, it comes like this. So you get these little leaves, see? And what we're going to do is actually we're going to start by hydrating the gelatin. I've got some tap water here. I've got some hot water. This is just the hottest it will go from the tap in the yellow bowl. And in the green bowl, I've got some cold water again from the tap. So what you start by doing that is actually hydrating the gelatin in water, and that loosens up the protein bonds before you then put it into something like cream for panna cotta, or some flavored water, sugar syrup, and stuff for jellies. So all you do is you just dip it in, and it's just going to sit there and loosen up for 5 minutes. So that's the hot water, and then we're going to put it into the cold water here. So we're just going to leave that to sit and hydrate for about 5 to 8 minutes, something like that. And what we're going to see is every recipe you see will talk about putting it in cold water to hydrate as opposed to hot water. We're going to show you why that's the case and what happens if you do put it into hot water. Okay, so we're back. It's been about 5 minutes and we've got our leaf gelatin. Chefs tend to prefer to use leaf gelatin because they say it gives a smoother, more glossy, consistent finish than powdered gelatin. But at home you can use either. So we've got the cold water here and the hot water here. So we'll start with the cold water to show you what the gelatin should look like when it's ready to use. So you actually go in there, you can feel it, it's a little bit slippery, feels a bit plasticky, but it's all together. So you squeeze out the water, important to squeeze out the water there. And there you can see, the gelatin's there, it's one physical thing, it's one piece, all together, it's a little bit gelatinous, a little bit kind of gloopy, but it's all one kind of thing, a little bit broken there. So that's in the cold water. In the hot water, I can't grab anything, it's gone, it's already started to dissolve. The protein bonds have started to break down and they've started to disperse in the hot water. So I can't actually grab anything there. Look, that's me giving it a good pull together and there's nothing there. And that's why you need to hydrate it in cold water, ready for use. And once it's ready, as I showed you, take the cold water out. You can put that into anything hot to start to actually disperse the protein bonds. And then what will happen is, as they start to firm up, those protein bonds will start to come to line up together, start to come together and create a nice firm gel. And that's what will happen. So what we're going to do next is we're actually going to see what happens if I use this So what we're going to do next is we're actually going to see, well, I've already put the gelatin into hot water here. What happens if I let that set versus using the gelatin that's hydrated in cold water and then put hot water into this bowl with the gelatin that's already hydrated to see the type of finish you get, and why you always want to hydrate it in cold water first, then add it to your hot liquid or syrup or whatever you're putting it in, as opposed to dumping it straight in there. Okay, so I've taken the cold water out of the bowl. I'm going to pour some hot water in here. It's got about the same amount as the yellow bowl. And I've got my hydrated gelatin here. So I'm going to drop this in here. And I'm going to give both of these a nice little stir up. So just to remind you, in the yellow bowl, I had the hot water the gelatin going straight in there. And we'll just try and mix that up. You still feel it kind of scraping across the bottom of the bowl. So that's what kind of happens, it clumps together. Whereas when it's cold and you hydrate it, it then disperses out. So this is the other bowl. So it feels a lot better. I can already, I can't feel it scraping and sticking to the bottom of the bowl. It already feels so much better. So I'm giving that a good mix up, stir up. So I'm now going to pop these both in the fridge. I'll leave it for a couple of hours, then we'll take it out and see what it looks like. Okay, so we're back. We've had the gelatin in the water sitting in the fridge just over 2 hours now. We've got the gelatin that was in the hot water from the beginning in the yellow bowl, and we've got the gelatin that we hydrated in the cold water, then put into the hot water in the green bowl. So we'll start with the yellow bowl first. So what you'll initially see is, look, it's swirling. So it's not really set a lot of the content. So actually what we're going to find is that the gelatine's setting a bit of a clump. So we'll put it on this pink plate here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You can hear it actually releasing. So we're going to have probably a bit of water jutting out here. Oh. Yeah, so literally, don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's just all clumped down here. This is, there you go, see? You see that? It's just a clump of gelatin there. So just take it all out here. There you go. See that? It's just all clumped together. And that's what happens if you just stick it straight into the hot liquid, whatever liquid you're using and you're using the gelatin to set in. So if you whack it straight in the hot liquid, it will clump together, and actually the rest of the liquid won't get any of those proteins, and it won't bind together. So we'll leave that one there. And then we've got the cold water. So you'll see that it's kind of set, it's got a bit of a wobble to it. I'm actually just going to cut the edges a little bit. That'll be a bit easier to release. I mean, you should dip it in a little bit of hot water, but we'll just do this because we just want to demonstrate to you what will happen. Okay. Well, I should have dipped it in some hot water, really. But what you'll find is actually the whole liquid is set in. See? So actually, if I dipped it in a bit of hot water, it would all come out as one solid mass. But there you can see it's all gelatinous. It's all got a bit of gelatin in it. We could have set that really nicely as a panna cotta or a jelly. There you go. So that's why you really need to hydrate the gelatin in cold water, then use it to set the hot liquid. So if it's a jelly, like a sugary syrup, it's panna cotta, a bit of cream, and that's how you kind of want to work through it.